From KSL Broadcast House, this is Sunday Edition with the Deseret News and KSL.
Good morning. Welcome to Sunday Edition. I'm Dave McCann. The Mitt Romney rumor mill is swirling again this week, only this time there appears to be a little more to the notion of him running for Orrin Hatch's Senate seat if Senator Hatch decides not to seek re-election in 2018. Utah Policy reported this week that Romney has decided to run, and 6 days later, still no word from the Romney camp denying that. My guest this morning, LaVarr Webb from Utah Policy, also a contributor to the Deseret News, and Deseret News political reporter Lisa Riley-Roche. Good morning. Thank you for being here.
Good to be here.
I'm looking forward to this conversation. So what do you think? Is Mitt Romney going to run?
Well, I think that the silence from his camp is fairly deafening, the fact that they have not denied it. I think it's only a matter of time until he makes it more clear that he will run, but only if Orrin Hatch does not run.
What do you think?
Well, of course, the longer that Orrin Hatch keeps us guessing about whether he's going to run for an 8th term as senator from Utah, the more likely it is that only someone like a Romney with the name recognition, the resources, the ability to get cash quickly, and frankly, the support, as LaVarr's poll just showed, can actually get in the race and keep that a Republican seat.
So in your two opinions, you believe Romney will be on the ballot in 2018 for Utah?
If I had to bet, I would say yes.
Lisa?
Well, even though I'm from Las Vegas, Dave, I don't bet while I'm here in Utah, but everything I'm hearing is that Romney is looking at this very seriously. As you know, his son Josh is interested in running for governor. But whether that would rule out a Josh Romney run, I'm told no. And that would seem to be one of the bigger hurdles that Mitt Romney would have to deal with, whether he wanted to impede his son's political progress.
It seems that Mitt Romney is not happy mowing his lawn or whatever he does, that he's anxious to be involved in public policy, and this would be an opportunity for him.
All right, so when and why doesn't Senator Hatch decide and put an end to it? I'm going to run, or I'm going to run unless Mitt Romney runs. When's all that going to go down?
As soon as Senator Hatch says, I'm not running again, how much influence do you think he'd realistically have in Washington?
Very little.
Right now, he's got the president's ear.
Yeah.
He has a lot of power in the Republican-controlled Senate, in the Republican-controlled Congress. He's doing an awful lot right now. He's introducing lots of bills. He's chairman of the very powerful Senate Finance Committee that will look at tax reform and some of the other initiatives coming from the administration. These are all really important things to Senator Hatch. You know, it's a real opportunity for him to make a difference in what may be his final term.
All right, well, LaVarr, take us to the midnight hour then. When is the midnight hour?
Well, I think the senator would like to wait as long as possible before making a decision or announcing a decision, but it's really quite impossible for him to wait longer than the end of the year.
Okay.
And so I mean, we are already very late in that cycle. All over the country, Senate races in 2018, they're off and running. People are raising money. They're very, very active in their campaigns. And in Utah, nothing is happening. And so he really cannot wait beyond December to announce or make a decision.
Let's talk about clout for a moment, because Senator Hatch has a lot of it. He's chair of the Finance Committee, most powerful committee in the world, as he told me last spring. Let's say Mitt Romney wins and comes in as a junior senator, with probably the most clout in the history of any junior senator that has ever joined the Senate. But how fast can he rise to replace what Senator Hatch has built up for the state of Utah when it comes to clout in Washington?
I don't think it would happen immediately, but he would immediately have a lot of credibility. He would immediately become a go-to person for issues and quotes by the media. So he would have, and what his relationship would be with the president would be very interesting, but that relationship would be very important. However, because of the Senate rules, he would not be in line for a chairmanship quickly and that sort of thing. So he would have more clout than an usual junior senator, but he would.
He'd have to play nice.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah,
All
LaVarr
right.
is exactly right. I mean, there's two kinds of clout, right? There's the clout that you have from seniority. It's a seniority-based system, especially in the Senate. That's what gets you the chairmanships and your choice of plum assignments. And then there's also the clout that you have on public influence. And I think that's what really is appealing to Mitt Romney about this position. He's already raised a lot of issues with Trump, both as a candidate and as president. And this would give him an even larger platform to continue to raise those issues, continue to influence.
It'll be very interesting. It's never dull around here, especially with you two. Lisa, LaVarr, thank you very much. Thanks for being here this morning. One of the issues Senator Hatch has turned his attention to lately is suicide prevention. He's proposed legislation that will help those contemplating suicide get faster access to life-saving resources with the use of a 3-digit hotline. In his remarks, Hatch cited a report released this week indicating that Utah has experienced more than 425 suicides since January, a record-setting number that far surpasses the national average and puts 2017 on track to be the most devastating year in the state's history in terms of death by suicide. Finding the right help for someone experiencing a mental health crisis is a challenge for many families. Deanie Wimmer sat down with families who have navigated the maze of the mental health system, and while they face lots of hurdles, we believe their stories will give you reasons to hope.
I'm so excited for Thailand.
17-year-old Sarah Bennett talks excitedly about her future.
So I got the last form in.
Oh, okay.
But just a few months ago, Sarah had no hope for the future.
It's hard to say thoughts of suicide, but like I started having thoughts of just disappearing.
And those thoughts only got worse.
I didn't know what to do, but I just needed to do something to get rid of how I was feeling.
We tried so many different avenues.
Every place Sarah's mom called had a long waiting list.
At that point, you feel like you're really trying to save your child's life.
They knew Sarah couldn't wait, and eventually she did try to take her life.
I was at work and I got a text. You don't even know what to feel. I mean, you're just frantic. It's a bottomless pit of emotions, and you can't grasp anything.
Sarah was treated in the emergency room and released. She began seeing a counselor, but that wasn't enough. A few weeks later, Sarah begged to be hospitalized.
And not even just my mom trying to get me help. It was me personally, like walking into a place saying I need to be admitted somewhere, and I still couldn't get help.
No beds were available. A week later, she attempted suicide again.
Nothing made me happy.
Kristen Cook faced a similar battle with her mental health.
I just had a meltdown at work, and that's when I knew that it was really serious and I needed to get help right away.
Her mom took her to the emergency room, but they were also sent home.
As a parent, that has to be the most helpless feeling.
We just didn't know what to do. There was a time when every little noise that came out of her room, I would run in there.
Unfortunately, Kristen and Sarah's experiences are not isolated.
It does happen. It happens often.
Doug Gray is a suicidologist and psychiatrist at the University of Utah Neuropsychiatric Institute. Within the last 5 years, the hospital has doubled the number of beds.
I expected we had so many beds that we wouldn't be filling up, and we are full many, many nights, and people trying to get in the hospital at King.
One of the reasons? There are simply not enough doctors. Psychiatrists are now the second most highly recruited doctor after family doctors.
But hospitals in Utah are trying to work around that.
At least the hospital administrators are willing to make sure if there's a bed open somewhere else, they'll pay for that patient to go to a different hospital.
Dr. Gray believes more outpatient services would prevent crisis situations that require hospitalization.
There's been no effort on the part of the insurance companies to really connect people with that care.
Something in between, the start of recognizing it and then being an absolute crisis before you get the right help. I mean, I feel like we stumbled through, and Sarah suffered unnecessarily.
Mika, come here.
Once Sarah was hospitalized, she did get the right help.
Going into group therapy, seeing that other people are going through the same things as I am, that was the most helpful.
It's not as dark and it's not hopeless and it's not scary anymore because I know I have the right tools.
Their advice to families: keep fighting.
Keep talking, because there will be somebody that can help you.
Mental illness is treatable, can have really good outcomes.
The future is looking awesome now. I have a lot of plans now and things that I'm excited for.
Deanie Wimmer reporting. Here's some more advice. If you're trying to see a psychiatrist or counselor and there's a waiting list, ask to be put on the cancellation list. Reach out to other families. Stephanie Cook posted on Facebook that they needed help and a friend connected them to a hospital. Groups like NAMI and the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention can also provide valuable information and help you navigate the system. Next, one final ride. We're on board an F-16 before they fly out of Hill Air Force Base for good. And later, new cookies and a second chance at life. How this unique combination has changed a Utah man's perspective when Sunday Edition continues on KSL. Sure. Then I'm on camera 3 for the F-16s. Okay. So we're going to come out on a 2-shot on 2.
Okay.
You ready to go?
Yep.
If this was a